Yeah, it
It's back to
just keeps
back.
getting crazier and crazier. I got to put my glasses on for this one.
Get
So
ready.
you guys are really going to enjoy our next guest here. According to his bio, he once went camelback riding with Queen Elizabeth and without the knowledge or consent of Prince Philip. Ooh,
Well,
that's scandalous, Andrew. Scandalous. Seriously, though, whenever I want to hear a real like engineer's opinion about the trends and what's really going on with vehicle technology, I reach out to this man. Many years of experience in vehicle engineering, developing proper repair methods, working for more than 2 decades with vehicle OEMs. Everybody, welcome our friend Andrew Marsh. Good to see you, buddy.
all right. Thanks for
All the
joining us
way
again.
from the UK.
Yeah.
Yes, live from the UK. And We're,
Which is
we're
not
so
Europe.
far ahead. A whole 6 hours ahead of you. We're just so far ahead.
Tell us about the future. So,
It's
Yeah,
dark. Okay.
Yeah, so with some guests, we want to ask really specific questions. With Andrew, we just kind of wind him up and let him go. So in your opinion, where are we headed with EVs and autonomous vehicles and all this stuff? Where's all this craziness going, buddy?
Okay, it's getting worse. I know this is positivity. And remember this, as it gets worse, there's more opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah, there is no harmonization or normalization of commodities. There's literally chaos. Okay, so what I want to talk about is that our vehicle manufacturers are not what they used to be. They're out. Their energy is so spent trying to keep up with legislation and staying alive. So we cannot assume our favorite manufacturers are going to be in business the way they were for much longer. Things are changing a lot. So I've got to throw this in. You can get me for this. Mr. Farley should probably join the family business in Hollywood. And it goes on like that. Mr. Musk is very good for entertainment. That's good too. There's a lot of things going on. And the truth is, we've got taxation of tailpipe emissions, massive taxation. And now we've become a petri dish. We've become the little experiment. On the 3rd of January, our government, our lovely government said, you know what? You're going to buy a battery electric vehicle. Yeah, you're buying it. We're just making the rules. It runs like this. From this year, manufacturers, importers have to sell 22% of all of their vehicles have to be battery electric. No other solutions, battery electric.
not even
If
hybrid.
they don't,
Not even
Sorry?
hybrid. Not even a hybrid, Andrew. Has to be full electric.
Don't care. Don't, because they have an engine. So they don't care about that.
Huh.
And this is how it hits. If they don't hit 22%, they have to pay a fine of between £9,000 and £15,000 per vehicle not sold.
What?
Okay. Then the solution, well, companies like Tesla only sell electric vehicles, so they'll sell some credits. Okay. Or there is another way, which is if they can't comply and they don't want to pay the fine, stop importing, stop selling in the UK. This is against consumer interest. I say this because somebody somewhere might be tempted to say, well, they got it up and running. Yeah, good luck with that. The objective is that 22% this year, 2024, will migrate to 70% of all all commercial vehicles, so pickups and panel vans by 2030, and 80% of all new passenger cars by 2030.
This is interesting because we're seeing similar trends in Canada. And Canadians back me up in the chat here, but by 2030, they're not even allowed to sell any kind of ICE vehicle. It's out. So we're seeing governments take a heavier hand in this, which is really interesting.
And it's cold up in Canada.
Yeah.
And there's no
Yeah.
problem. You just have to charge more. It's easy. What's disappointing is all the government types have latched onto battery electric vehicles as the only solution. And we're going to talk a little bit more. So I need you to help me keep on track here, because there's some wrinkles in this. All of this is opportunity for repairers if you want it. It's all opportunity. So by amazing coincidence, the biggest manufacturer of lithium-ion batteries in the world is China. Who knew? And they're buying up and building multiple car carriers. So one shipping line placed an order for 12 for 2026 delivery at the end of last year. Yeah, and they are renting out as many car carriers as they can lay their hands on. And it runs like this, and forgive me, it runs something like this. I believe the Chinese economy, I think the Chinese economy is not quite in the shape it should be. There are other reasons for that. They have significant capacity. They have quality. They are ready for their coming out party. Europe is the first stage. So we will see this wave. Now, the tier ones, the people who make bits, have been going east or going out of business since 2017, 2018. So, for example, ZF just this week announced another 10,000 to be deleted from Germany. Yeah, this is jobs. The EU kind of wake up and think, is something going on? Hey, guys, yes, because you signed the protocols. And it gets as bad as this. Our friends know how to play the game. So BYD want to manufacture in Europe. They want a building. They don't care whether it does anything because they can say, that's a European building. We've got round the rules. We're going to just continue to ship. So you can see already the flaws, the danger. So
be sure to touch on the infrastructure issue in your opinion too, because
I'm coming to that. So the in terms of metal, just shifting metal, are the vehicle manufacturers fighting back? Yes. You can't see it, but they are trying to do it. So you imagine, because of these crazy rules, for every model range they introduced, they had to introduce at least 2. And until very recently, when you take in hybrid and plug-in hybrid, that was 4. So, you know, they're not going through a pleasant time. So all I come out of this part is don't assume it's going to be the same old, same old. There's some real pressures going on inside the vehicle manufacturers. They're having difficulties with parts, with processors. Yet again, our Hutu friends doing stuff in the Red Sea, stuffing up container traffic again. You know, it's just going on and on and on. So these ripples will roll through. Okay, so infrastructure. So the fact is, there's always going to be a better battery. We've waited 120 years for a better battery. Okay, lithium-ion kind of did it. It gave us, and I hope you're sitting, it gave us a whole 10, 15 or something better % performance than lead acid. Yeah, I'm sitting down. I hope you are. It was astounding. Of course, that's nowhere near petrol. You could tell I'm anti. Or did I say that? Anyway, so here's the problem. That chemistry, whatever it is now, is going to be around. Everything that's built so far could live for 10 or 15 years. And everything going forward for next year is probably going to use similar chemistries to whatever's gone before. So for the repairer, here are the choices. There is an issue around combustion of the batteries. And we deal with damaged vehicles. So you cannot tell, even if you've got this diagnostics hooked up, you're living with the vehicle, looking at what the battery's doing. Thermal runaway could happen at any point, or it might not happen at all. There's another point. If we've got a conventional fire with a gas vehicle and it sets light to a lithium-ion battery, the lithium-ion battery is self-sustaining. It does not need oxygen. All it needs is stored energy and a chemical reaction. And it will, as you saw at the lovely airport, I recommend you don't go there, at Luton, a multi-story car park, steel frame, reduced to trash.
Wow.
It gets hot. So here's my mad ideas. First one, we should be thinking more like the way SRS is built. So we subdivide the workshop into smaller units. So if we lose a unit, we don't lose the whole business. And the other more important part is that means that every person can get out through one fire door in around 10 to 15 seconds. Because once things kick off, things happen really quickly. It's really bad really quickly. Step 2, we automatically discharge the battery. We don't care what the state of charge is. We discharge it to the lowest level. So we're reducing the chance that if it does get involved in a fire, it's not going to go on forever. And then that means removing the battery. Okay, so let's go past that for our insurer friends. That means we're putting cost in to remove energy. We're going to put the cost in to replace the energy at the end of the repair job. And we've added a whole heap of time to remove the battery and put it back in again and store it somewhere safe. So there's investments as well. this is raw, but you can see, I'm suggesting this, your audience, you are way brighter than me. This is what we're up against. This is our challenge as the collision repairers. As long as we're repairing that type of vehicle, this is what we have to deal with. So infrastructure is about three-phase, because if we're going to start dealing with charging up batteries, we don't want to use a 2-pin plug, 110 volts AC, unless we've got a lot of time. So we're going to be needing more purposeful electrical supply. And the knock-on effect is then, okay, that starts to impact surrounding businesses, the town we're in, and. So, yes, can BEVs work? In the current scale, we're typical, I think, of a lot of countries pushing heavily for this. Our power generation is useless. Our power distribution system is awful. We could trip things out just by heating and lighting our homes, let alone feeding cars. So there's improvements underway. That will catch up. Here's the bit I'm saying out loud, because it comes in a little bit. Prepare for the 180 or 360 turn, because it's against our interests to have limitation of people traveling in their vehicles. We need people to be out there using their vehicles. That's what collision repairers support. We do not want that capped or limited in any way.
I love it.
Woo! That was
I told you this is going to be wild.
That was a wild ride, my man.
Andrew, thank you so much. What
My
time
pleasure.
is it over? It's nighttime over in the UK, or it's dinner time at least.
Oh, you mean? Well, no, my dog's already eaten. He's about to drink water. I haven't yet, but go on.
Thank you so much, my
love
friend.
you. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here
you.
with us today,
Thank you.
everybody. Andrew Marsh.
Andrew
Thank you.
Marsh.
Woohoo!
All right. Thanks for joining.